Hi everyone, Tanner here. I hope you're having a good day. On my channel, I talk a lot about approaching and feeling safe with difficult emotions and pain sensations, which is really important. I don't want to deny that. And I know a lot of people focus in these areas on their mind-body journey when they're trying to heal. But another area that's just as important to focus in on is intentionally leaning in to pleasant sensations and pleasant emotions. And we need this. Our nervous system needs this to feel safe. And so in this video, I'm going to explain how we can start leaning in to pleasant sensations and experiences in our life. And I'm also going to go through a leaning into pleasant sensations meditation. So let's get into it. So many people with neuroplastic pain or mind-body concerns tend to live in a constant state of fear and tend to live in danger mode. And what I mean by this, danger mode is when we're constantly on high alert, we're hypervigilant, we're being critical of ourselves, we're placing an excessive amount of pressure on ourselves, and oftentimes we can feel quite panicky. And I'm no exception to this. I know that my brain gravitates towards living in fear and living in danger mode. And because of this, we need to intentionally give our brain practice leaning into pleasant sensations and experiences. And I say intention, we need to be intentional about it because otherwise we won't do it. Our brain won't naturally focus in on pleasant things that are going on in our life because when we're constantly in danger mode, we're just constantly scanning for danger and fearful things in our environment. So we need to intentionally do this. And actually starting to, lean into pleasant sensations and experiences in our life. The thing about this is nothing is going to help you feel safer in life than doing this. Nothing is going to help the brain and nervous system feel safer than intentionally leaning into pleasant sensations and experiences. Because our nervous system needs this. And a lot of people have discovered this kind of on their mind-body journey, where all of a sudden they have a true moment of enjoying themselves, or they're having a really pleasant experience, and they're really in the moment, experiencing it in their body. And when they do that, all of a sudden their pain will reduce greatly, or their pain will just dissipate altogether. And I remember this, some of the best evidence I had that my pain was neuroplastic was one of these experiences. So years back, when I was kind of really in the midst of pretty severe and debilitating chronic pain, I remember I was working at a university wellness center, and in between sessions with clients, I would lie down on the ground because my back would hurt so much, and I was panicked trying to reset it before I had to see my next client. And I had one experience where I was lying on the ground and I was doing this like hopeful meditation about my future life. And I remember I really got into it. I was really feeling hopeful and excited about my future in my body. I could really feel it somatically. And all of a sudden my back pain went from an 8 or 9 out of 10 and dropped down to a 0. It was completely gone, and I stood up. And at the time, I remember feeling quite shocked that this had taken place. But looking back on it, it makes sense. Feeling hopeful and excited about my future allowed my brain and nervous system to truly feel safe and secure. And this was probably the first time I had felt safe in many years. And so since this experience, I do my best. I'm not always perfect at it, but I do my best to try and intentionally lean into pleasant sensations and experiences in my life because my brain needs practice doing this. And the thing about it is the more you practice it, the more your brain will naturally gravitate in this direction. So when we're constantly living in danger mode, it feels really difficult for us to focus on something pleasant because our brain and nervous system just isn't used to doing it. But when we start to intentionally do this repetitively and consistently in our life, our brain will start to do it and move in this direction more often. And so here's a great example. From like 2 weeks ago, my son, who's almost 5 years old, became obsessed with Spider-Man. We were watching one of the newer Spider-Man movies, Into the Spider-Verse, and he just really got into it. And in that moment, I remember this week when it kind of took place, I really intentionally leaned in to being excited with him about this. We spent a lot of time outside. He was trying to look for the radioactive spider. And so I was really helping him. There was this excitement. It's always easier when your kid's there, of course, because they're excited and you kind of build off of them. And we were watching the movies and we were looking at comic books. And it was this beautiful moment that I had with him, but also this beautiful moment that I had in my body, because I intentionally just really allowed myself to feel joyful and excited in my body. And I leaned into it and savored it. Now, that's one example. Another one that I have is whenever I work out, I always go to the steam room after. And I love steam rooms. They're wonderful places. I love the heat. I love the dim lighting. And I really just lean in those moments to the pleasant sensations that I have in my body. Now, the point of me telling you this is not that you need to go and become obsessed about Spider-Man, or that you even need to go to a steam room, but that when you have these joyful moments start to naturally take place in life, that you really spend time intentionally leaning into them and enjoying them. And again, if I haven't been clear about this yet, you need to intentionally do it so that you can get to this place and focus in your body on the pleasant sensations that are occurring. Because otherwise we'll just ignore them and kind of live in our head and not in our body experiencing it. Now, the other way we can do this is also with leaning into pleasant sensations meditation. And so we'll practice it right now. It'll just be brief to really show you what we're trying to accomplish by doing it. So what I want you to do is just close your eyes or lower your gaze for a second. And just for a moment, focus on your breathing. Start to take some nice, easy, relaxing breaths in and out, just slowing things down in your body. And really notice the rhythm of your breathing. And see if you can focus on the nice sensations as you breathe. Noticing when you inhale, the warm air filling your lungs. And as you exhale, you feel that nice release in your body, where your body just kind of relaxes. And just breathe in this way, noticing the pleasant or neutral sensations of you just attending to your breath. And what I want you to do for a moment is actually just slowly scan your body and notice, even in a small area, somewhere that feels pleasant or neutral. And just for a moment, when you pick that area that feels the most pleasant in your body, really focus in on it and practice really leaning into it. Really allow yourself to explore this sensation, to notice what it's doing, and really just in this moment, allow yourself to savor it. What I want you to do is actually start to breathe into the area that feels pleasant or neutral. And as you exhale, just allow it to kind of spread and expand in your body. And just take a few more deep breaths into it, really allowing yourself to enjoy this moment. Because what we're doing right now is we're helping the emotional parts of your brain feel safe. And by actually intentionally leaning in and savoring a pleasant sensation, we're giving our brain and nervous systems a message that we're truly safe right now. So just take another deep breath, slowing it down. And when you're ready, you can come back to the room. And so that's the leaning into pleasant sensations meditation. Now, that was pretty brief. You could do it for longer if you really get into it. But practicing this consistently, you'll get better at leaning in and attending to pleasant or neutral sensations in your body. And you can even do it informally. Like I said, when I was being obsessed and excited about Spider-Man with my son, I was just spending time attending to my body and noticing the excitement and spending some moments leaning into it. So whether you do it informally or formally, I hope I've convinced you to spend a little time kind of in your mind-body healing and on your journey practicing doing this. Because as I said, the more we practice this, the more the brain will gravitate in this direction more often. So please put your questions or comments down below, hit the like button, and subscribe to my channel, as I'm going to release videos every week talking about neuroplastic pain and mind-body syndrome. Take care.